Hey, it's Shane from Procheck. Today we've got a Ford Ranger in who's in limp mode, throwing fault codes for EGR stuck closed. So we're going to try and do a bit of an on-car clean because the throttle body's actually, intake's actually full of carbon. I'll show you a video quickly now. I'll throw that up. But yeah, it's full of carbon. We're hoping we're going to try and be able to save this customer some money and not have to replace the EGR. So if we can get away with that, just do a clean and save them some dollars on the EGR, and we'll see how we go. Stay tuned. So we've just popped the intake pipe off, and you can see that's inside the throttle body. In the intake manifold is all full of carbon. There's about 200,000 kilometers on this car, so I dare say it probably hasn't been done before. So we'll give this good system a bit of a clean with our good Wynns product, and see if we can get this cleaned up and get this EGR moving. All right, so we've got the machine all hooked up, it's running now. It's actually spraying one spray every 30 seconds. After probably about 15-20 minutes or so, we'll turn that down one spray every 15 seconds, just to try and get more of the junk out. I'll throw you to the back of the car here now. You can see not much smoke coming out yet. There's a little bit of puffs there, nothing crazy. But once we go to 1 minute, one spray every 15 seconds, it'll actually start soaking into that carbon, and the carbon will all burn through. So stay tuned, we'll run this thing up and we'll give you an after. So it's been running for about 10 minutes now on that first stage. You can see there's a bit of smoke coming out there now. So it must be burning off some of the carbon. So we'll step it up to the one in every 15 seconds. Over here. And that'll just get more injections in, and we'll see more smoke come out, and we'll clean out this intake manifold. Alright, so that's all done now. The machine's beeped at me, it's run out of fluid. Now we just need to hold the RPM at about 2.5 grand for a couple of minutes, just to make sure we get any excess fluid out and any loose contaminants out. Then we'll plug the airflow meter back in, plug the intake pipe back on. We're going to go for a vigorous drive and burn off any excess in there, and then I'll show you a video of what the intake now looks like after that. These cleans work really well with time as well, so probably in about 2 weeks time we can have another look at it and see how clean it is, but you should notice the difference now straight away. But yeah, in about 2 weeks time, once it actually gets all that other stuff off, the chemical actually soaks into the carbon, so that'll, over the next couple of weeks, it will burn off the extra that's in there, and it will be 100% clean, and hopefully this EGR does start to fluctuate and work, and solve the customer's problem. So we're just holding the RPM now to about 2,000 RPM, and you can see the smoke coming out the back here. It's definitely got some carbon build up. Ooh, here we go, it's coming right here as well. So there's definitely some carbon build up. We'll get this cleaned out and go for a drive and see what she does. All right, so the machine's all done. This is straight after I've taken the machine off. You can see the throttle body's all nice and clean. All the carbon up in the back of the manifold there is all wet and gooey now. So we'll go for a drive, and the boost and pressure and suction and everything else in between, EGR opening, should hopefully clean all this out. And I said after about 200 k's of driving, it should be pretty clean in there. But the main goal of this one was to make sure that EGR stuck closed would be fixed, and hopefully get rid of that trouble code for them and no more limp home problems. Alright, so I just got back from a test drive and tried to burn all the gunk out of there. And now we can see the EGR here live. I can give it a rev, and the EGR's commanded and actual is pretty much spot on. So it seems that our on-car clean with Wynns has worked and saved the customer some money. As I said just before, we got back from the test drive, and this chemical is still working in here. You can see the smoke coming off the carbon inside there. I'll just give it a quick little blow here. And it's still, yeah, all gooey and melted in there. So probably another couple hundred kilometers and it'll all be cleaned out. All Alright, so just a quick little disclaimer for this one. I guess we got lucky with this one with only having one clean at 200,000 kilometers, and we sorted the issue. Some cars, if it hasn't been cleaned before, it may take 2 or 3 different cleans to get it back to standard and get those things moving. So just keep in mind that if it has happened to your car and we can clean it, it may take 2 or 3 cleans to get back to perfect, but there's nothing we can't do. We can get it sorted for you. So yeah, the car's all done. The customer's gonna have to drive for a couple hundred kilometers just to make sure it's all good to go. But from what I've just driven then, the EGR is operating perfectly. That intake will continue to clean once the goo goes through the intake and burns off. So it probably will smell for a couple of weeks and blow a little bit of smoke, but is 100% safe. And she should save some money with not having to replace that EGR. So if you're having that code come up, which I'll put in the comments and in the description, more than likely you may need an EGR. But if we can try and clean it, 1, you clean your intake manifold out anyway, and 2, if it does win and work, you save yourself some money on the EGR. The other thing we'd probably recommend to this customer is a catch can, just to stop that oil vapor going back into the intake and mixing with the exhaust gas, and that'll stop all that goo in there. So prevent this from the start is put a catch can in. They're about $500 fitted. They're not that hard to do. They're very easily maintained, and they'll stop this as well. So that's it from me. Stay tuned for more tech tips, and have a good day.